Now, is NASA serious about secession, or is this exclusively a bargaining chip? Something to force Jubilee on its knees and into the negotiating table? Yeah? That is a question that is being increasingly asked by so many Kenyans right across the political divide. Now, on the surface of things, NASA seems to be sending mixed signals, okay? Because we already know that a very serious move is already in motion for secession. Yeah, it actually was launched on 2nd October 2017 when the Honorable George Peter Opondo Kaluma, yeah, who is the MP for Homa Bay Town constituency, wrote to the IEBC. The gist of his letter, of course, was to request the IEBC to conduct a referendum to split Kenya into two countries. Now, this seems to be the quickest path because all Bwana Kaluma needs are 1 million signatures to force a referendum, yeah, as per our constitution. Because the other legal option here is for the matter to be referred to the National Assembly, which is a non-starter because, as we know, the National Assembly is dominated by Jubilee, who will obviously shoot down the motion. Now, you and I know that if such a referendum is held in the current political climate and environment, it will be a landslide win for secession, yeah? But then there are the pertinent questions, yeah? Like one key question is, will the IEBC conduct such a referendum? This same IEBC which told us somebody got over 7 million votes, yeah? This same IEBC that people have called the JEBC, yeah, Jubilee Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Anyway, now of course the second move towards secession is the People's Assembly. Yeah, already 4 counties have legalized that, okay, and we expect the other 19 or so counties to quickly follow suit, okay, which will bring us to a situation where a large block of voters or a large section of the country will be reading from the same script, yeah, secession. And to add on to that, there's a recent press conference held by members from the Nyanza area bordering the Uganda, yeah, who complained about constant harassment by a foreign government, okay, and they said that one of the options is secession. Now, very interesting, this Uganda issue, this issue of Ugandans harassing Kenyans, or rather Museveni's police harassing Kenyans, is a bit deeper than just the surface, yeah? Because, for instance, did you know that these fishermen were actually arrested in Kenya, yeah? They were taken across the border to Uganda to be locked up. I'm telling you, this Kenya of ours. And so, reading between the lines from Inspector General of Police Joseph Boynet's statement in reaction to that press conference, one would interpret that Bwana Boynet was saying it is okay for Kenyans to be arrested on Kenyan soil and to be taken to Uganda to face trial as long as they have broken the law. What? How? How does that happen? Yani you're a Kenyan, yes, you've broken a law, because now the issue is not whether they broke the law or not. The issue is they're being tried in a foreign country, yeah, and they were picked up from their own country. Hey, gosh. So Bwana Boynet is saying that as long as you've broken the law, yes, it doesn't matter. Yeah, a foreign government can pick you up from Kenya and try you in their country according to their laws. Hey, oh boy, this is crazy. Now, the other very dramatic move towards secession is what has been done at the coast by a group of legislators led by Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho and Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi, okay, and a whole a group of legislators together, and they've told us that they're already pursuing legal means of seceding from Kenya, yeah, as Pwani, or the coast of Kenya. Now, all these moves are being done by NASA people, okay? All these legislators, all these initiatives are all NASA, okay? But then at the same time, the NASA leader Raila Odinga has said that he is not for secession. Yes, he would rather have one unified country. However, he has quickly added that the separatists, the people pushing for secession, have a very good reason to push for it. In other words, what Raila is saying is that his personal view is that Kenya should remain one. But if the Wananchi are pushing for secession, he sees they have good grounds, they have very strong grounds, they have good reason, he cannot stand in their way. That's really what he's saying. Now, during a televised interview on KTN television about 4 or 5 days ago, a section of Nyanza legislators said that yes, secession is an option, but they would only see it as a last resort, okay? And they pointed out to the cases of secession in Africa, which they said none of them had worked out too well, yes? And they gave examples of South Sudan, which seems to have degenerated into a situation of constant war and turmoil, yeah, after they seceded from the rest of Sudan, okay? They also point out to Eritrea. They say Eritrea having all kinds of problems after seceding from Ethiopia. And then they also gave the example of Biafra. Biafra is in Nigeria, and they've been, for the last 50 years, they've been calling for secession, yes? And they said, the Biafran people have never recovered from what they did 50 years ago and what they continue to do, yeah? So what is NASA's real position in this issue of the People's Republic of Kenya, yeah, which a lot of Kenyans are very excited about? A lot of Kenyans are really looking forward to it. A lot of Kenyans feel that we're just wasting time, yes, that the Jubilee crowd will never reform, the dictatorial Jubilee government will never change, and therefore the only solution is for people to come out of this cruel marriage yesterday, yeah, and form their own country, the People's Republic of Kenya. Now let us appreciate that this is a very, very, very strong, very loaded bargaining chip. Yes, I would even dare say that this is the kind of bargaining chip that paralyzes Central Kenya. Yeah, it is no secret that Central Kenya are terrified about the prospect of secession. And the reason is obvious. The people from Central Kenya are very enterprising, and they have interests spread right across the country, in many different parts of the country. And therefore the immediate question would be, what will they do, yeah, when that becomes a separate country, yeah? When they need a passport and a work permit and business clearance as a foreigner to operate businesses in places outside Central Kenya. Yeah, that's a real horror movie for Central Kenya. Yeah, that's a fact. So are NASA using this just to scare, yeah, and to force the other side onto the negotiation table, or are NASA very serious about seceding? Actually, both statements are true. Yeah, we all know how serious NASA are about bringing reform, yes, about changing Kenya, about bringing justice to Kenya, yes. And it's something that they've been able to gather support even from people who would not ordinarily support NASA. They've been able to gain support rapidly from people who would not ordinarily support Raila Odinga. Kenyans have suddenly become very, very radical, very strong, diehard supporters of Raila Odinga and NASA. Yeah, and it's for a very simple reason. Yeah, that Kenyans have suffered for decades. They've suffered from exclusion, yes, from domination, yeah, and a lot of injustices. And therefore, it's just a very simple issue. You touch the hearts of many Kenyans with an issue which affects so many, and pop, you have their full support. It's as simple as that. And it seems that what NASA's position is that they will fight up to the end for change in Kenya, for democracy and justice to return to Kenya. They will fight up to the end. But if that fails, NASA will have no hesitation seceding from the country called Kenya. That's really the position. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.